Hello, my dear students. I am Mahmudul Hassan, Assistant Professor, Adamchi Cantonment College. Today, I am presenting a class in this platform Manabi, and it is specially designed for the students who are admission seekers mainly, especially for the medical and university admission. Although the students who are in English version and especially the academic curriculum is started just a few days ago, they are also will get benefited from this class. So my dear students, please share the video to your friends as they can join with us. And today I will go for discussing about two important in phylum, especially they are the invertebrates, and this is basically phylum Cnidoria and phylum Platyhelminthes. These two are very important group of animals, so you have to know about this. And so you please open your script and as you can write something. So my dear students, let's move on to the topic. So it is a topic from biology second paper, and the chapter is first chapter, and the topic name I have said earlier, it is invertebrate phylum Cnidoria. Okay, so Cnidoria previously it is called Coelenterata. Okay, so you have to remember the name also, Coelenterata. So Coelenterata is a kind of animals, they are belonging in which they have a special body cavity, coelenteron. For this reason the name was Coelenterata, but nowadays it is called Cnidoria. Okay, Cnidoria mainly it is a group of animals of diploblast or diploblastic animals are belonging to this group. For that reason we are studying this animal, and mostly they are inhabited to marine water, but there are some species that are also inhabited to the fresh water. So my dear students, we have a look what is the structure, especially their body shape, and what kind of layers they have, which functions and which cell is doing the function, and which structure is responsible for which function. It is also will be a great things for us. So my dear students, Cnidarians is a kind of cylindrical animal which is tubular in shape or cylindrical in shape like this, and they are containing tentacles whatever their shape is. Suppose it is a kind of animal and this one is another kind of animal, so here from you can easily can tell what will be the shape of this animal. Look, it is the hydra, and hydra is cylindrical animal, and it is the jellyfish, and it is umbrella shaped, or few cases you can see it is bell shaped. My dear students, both are diploblastic animals. For that reason we have to draw two different linings. Suppose this is another lining of their body. Okay, so in case of this organism you may also draw the structure for your study for understanding. So whatever the shape or structure is, all are containing the tentacles, and tentacles is hair like structure. It may be very elongated or may be very small. It is also not matter, but you have to look all the animals are containing the tentacles, and tentacles also diploblastic in nature. As diploblastic in nature, both layers are separated by a jelly-like structure, and this jelly-like structure is basoglia. And before the starting my lecture, I have said they have body cavity. It is a large body cavity, and this body cavity basically known as coelenteron because of their previous phylum's name Coelenterata. But this cavity also have a great importance, and you have to know this thing. The structure, when you are going to study, on the time you will see their body is very transparent. So their body is transparent enough, that is why you can observe many parts of their body from the outer side. Look, here I am giving some structure, and this structure basically they are gonads. So gonads can see from the outer side, and when this animal is eating something like algae, this algae also can be seen from outer side. That is why they have some green structure at their cavity, and that is why the animals sometimes showing their color according to the food that have in their cavity. Look, when it is looking green, on the time some cases you can say it is chlorohydra, because of the chlorophyll have inside their cavity. It is not their body part, rather they are depositing algae at their body cavity, and algae contains chlorophyll, and the color is reflected from the outer side of their body because of its transparent nature. These hydra have layers, and from the outer side you can say it is epidermis or epiderm, and the inner layer that is red in color here, it is the endoderm. Okay, endoderm. In the middle of these layers there have a cellular jelly like structure, and it is called the mesoglia. So mesoglia is a kind of structure that helps to separate the lining. For that reason it also performs some additional functions, and the additional functions includes their flexibility, and that is why you can consider this thing with our skeleton, although it is invertebrate, so there has no chance to retain any kind of skeleton. So it is a part which you can say it is the mouth. Exactly, their mouth performs both functions for ingestion of the food materials and exhaustion of the food materials. For these two purposes you can not directly say it is mouth, rather you are telling it is the hypostome. Hypostome means a stomata. Hypostome comes from two words. Stome comes from stomata, and hypo means under. So the opening or gap that have in our body under our body parts, you obviously can say it is the anus, but this organism has no anus. For that reason, this stomata that acts as mouth, that also acts as anus too. For that reason it is not directly called mouth, rather you can say it is the hypostome, and at the border of the hypostome it contains number of flagellas, and it may be ranges from 6 to 10 in different species. Okay. So now I can say this kind of individuals is totally harmless. For that reason they are free living. That means it is not depends on to others for taking food or for their nutrition. Okay, it directly can manage the food, and it is not inhabited on or into the body of other animals for their parasitic nature. That is why you never can say it is parasitic, rather it is non-parasitic or free living animals. And next, they have body, and body builds by some cells, and cells accumulated to forms the tissue, and there have no organ or system like our kidney, like our lung. These kind of organs are not present. For that reason only tissue grade of organization is present. Tissue grade of organization, mind it, tissue grade. Next thing is that this animal is unsegmented. That means they have no segmentation at their body. Whatever their shape is, these are totally unsegmented. So next point is unsegmented. Look at that, unsegmented. Okay. Now when you are describing some animals, obviously you have to know how many layers are present during their embryonic stage. Whatever their embryonic or adult stage, both are containing two layers. I have said earlier, it is epiderm and epiderm and endoderm. Epiderm also called ectoderm, and this inner layer is called endoderm. So two layers are present. Two layers are present. That is why you can say it by a terminology. It is called diploblastic animal. Diploblastic animal. Okay. Next, next you should know about their about their gender, that means sexes. So male and female, both sexes present in same body most of the cases. For that reason you can say it is bisexual animals, it is bisexual animals, but they are not undergoes self fertilization because of different timings of ripening time or ripening time of the sperm and ovum that is present at their body in same individuals. That is why you are telling it is monoecious. Mono means same or single. So single body contains both kinds of reproductive structure. That is why it is bisexual, but their sex organ are producing sperm and ovum separately, and they are following different ripening time. For that reason they are not going to fertilize by the self sperm and ovum. So self fertilization absent, only cross fertilization is taking place. Self fertilization, so self fertilization absent. Okay, absent. Now I have said many things earlier. It contains body cavity, and body cavity's name is coelenteron. Okay, they have special cell, and that cell is must you have to know. That is the cnidoblast cell. Cnidoblast cell is a kind of cell. You should look at the structure of cnidoblast cell. Cnidoblast cell is exactly pear in shaped, and it is containing a sac inside it. That sac is containing some poisonous chemicals, and these poisonous chemicals can hypnotize a person. That is why you can say it is the hypno, and it is toxic. That is why it is hypnotoxin. The element is made up of two compositions. It is the protein and phenol. Okay, so this is two chemical, protein and phenol. So you have to remember this information importantly, because it is always comes in your exam. It is protein and phenol. So both are forming a chemical that is poisonous, and it can hypnotize because it works onto the nervous system. That is why you also can say it is the neurotoxic. Mind it, neurotoxin. Okay, neurotoxin. There are two kinds of toxic elements. One is hemotoxic that work onto the blood. Another one is neurotoxin that work onto the neuron. And neuron is the unit of nervous system. That is why when nervous system is impacted, on that time you can say it is the neurotoxin. Next thing is that they have parts for injecting the neurotoxin to the body of an individual. For that reason it is holding this structure at their sac, and this sac is called nematocyst. It is called nematocyst. Okay, this nematocyst is a kind of sting that helps to inject poison to the bodies of an individual, and whole structure remain enclosed by a structure. It is called operculum. Okay, operculum, and this operculum it can be opened with the help of a sharp and pointed structure like the trigger of a pistol, and it is called cnidocyl. So this cnidocyl helps to open up the operculum. That is why the things that have inside it, by hydrostatic pressure, by which pressure it is present, hydrostatic pressure, you have to remember hydrostatic pressure, this structure is present, pressure. Okay, due to that, when the operculum is opened up, the whole structure comes out with their sting, and sting is opened at the terminals, as if the liquid materials or poisonous materials can easily penetrate inside their enemies. This way it can hypnotize the animal. It helps in feeding, helps in to protect from the enemies, as well as due to their hydrostatic pressure, sometimes it helps in locomotion. So what is the function of cnidoblast cell? You have to know. The structure still incomplete because I am telling it is a cell. Cell contains the nucleus, and for being a living cell, it must contain some structure of cytoplasm, and in the cytoplasm there is a twisted part. It is called the lasso, and lasso means twisted, and it has unknown function because still its function is not revealed. And sometimes the cytoplasm is thickening to form a structure like the thread. That is why you can say it is the cytoplasmic thread. So it is the cytoplasmic thread. This structure, as it is hiding under the operculum, that is why you can say it is the inactive form. When it will be activated, this structure never can be retrieved. The structure, how it appeared, just I am showing here. This is a structure. It is, you can say it is the bud, and bud contains 3 spines, long spines. You can say it is the bud. Okay, there are lot of spine that is very small but arranged in 3 rows. You can say it is the barbiole. So these all are ornamented in this structure. And finally the red one is the thread, and this thread, as it is connected with the nematocyst, you can say it is nematocyst thread. Thread sometimes contains additional spines at their body. Okay, these are the additional spines, but I have said terminally it remains opened. Due to that, when these materials can passes through this channel, on that time these poisonous materials insected to the body of the other enemies. For that reason, enemies can be numb, and due to this numbness is the reason of the nervous system of other animals. So we can say it is working onto the neuron. For that reason, it is a neurotoxic. So my dear students, another important thing is that when we have studied about the jellyfish, in the structure of jellyfish, you should see there have some additional feature except the tentacles and other things. Look at this. This one is the arm. Arm is not present in the structure of hydra, but in case of jellyfish, it is containing the arm, and this arm is paired in nature. That is why you can say it is arms. And in case of jellyfish, there are some small tentacles, but in case of many species of jellyfish are available that contains very long tentacles. Whatever the size is, all are symmetrical, and this symmetry you can understand by the structure. You can dissect the animal in different axes and you can get the equal halves. For that reason, it is radially symmetrical animal. So radially symmetrical, that is why you can say radial symmetry is the important characteristics of phylum Cnidarians. So finally, which thing we have obtained from this group of animals? Look, I have said at the beginning, this is marine, exclusively marine. Exclusively marine means the animals only found in marine environment. But I have said maximum cases you can find this kind of animal in the marine environment, but the hydra is totally freshwater. So maximum marine, few are freshwater animals. Okay, animals. So another important thing is that it is diploblastic, mesoglia present. Okay, mesoglia is a cellular jelly-like substance. Mesoglia present. Look, here I am just writing the key points. Total sentence is very tough to write here because of the time. So importantly, next thing is that unsegmented. Unsegmented Another thing you have learned, that is, this animal has tissue grade of organization. Okay. Next, you have learned about their body cavity. Coelenteron. Coelenteron is their body cavity. Body cavity. Okay. Next thing is that they have tentacles or arms, or both. Okay. Another thing is that these individuals have metagenesis. It is important thing, means they have polyp or immature stage, and they have medusa. It is the adult stage. As this animal is containing both immature and adult stage, and separately you can recognize, that is why this kind of thing you can say it is the metagenesis. So this kind of features have in the phylum Cnidaria. Here from you can see various kinds of objective. For that reason you should know few other characteristics. Cnidoblast cell is defensive cell. You have to remember, defensive cell. Next, what will be the other characteristics? Look, they have reproduction process. Reproduction process can be carried out by both asexual and sexual process. Another important thing that is the in case of sexual reproduction, you should remember it is happening when the food is not available. For that reason, during winter sexual reproduction is taking place. And in case of asexual reproduction, you can say it is happening when the food is available, and it is mostly available in the summer. Okay, for that reason asexual reproduction happen in summer season. Another important thing is that when the vegetative reproduction or the regeneration process is taking place, it always, when you are cut the body of hydra, on that time each and every segment can produce the new hydra. Although it is a kind of asexual reproduction, but more correctly you can say it is the regeneration. So immense power of regeneration is happening due to presence of interstitial cell. When you will study detail about the hydra, on that time you can see interstitial cell, and the divisional power of interstitial cell is called totipotency. So you have to know this thing for the admission test. So which cell have totipotent in nature? That is the interstitial cell. Which cell can convert at any cells that is required for hydra? That is also the interstitial cell. When the regeneration process is taking place, always it is not depend on to the season. But when asexual process is taking place, it is summer. Asexual process includes budding, budding and fission. These are the way fission. These are the types of asexual reproduction. Okay, so you have to remember this thing. Hydra, as it is bisexual animals, bisexual hydra is called monoecious. You have to remember. Okay, monoecious means bisexual. Another important thing that it is cnidoblast cell. Cnidoblast contains chemical, and that is contains hypnotoxin. You have studied Toxin. Hypnotoxin. Okay. Another important thing, hypnotoxin is made up of which thing? Okay, sorry. Hypnotoxin is made up of two things, protein, another one is phenol. Okay, so another important thing you must know, the male reproductive organ, basically it is the testis. Okay, this testis is cone shaped. Which shaped? Cone shaped, you must know. Another important thing, that female reproductive organ, it is oval shaped, oval or rounded. Okay, rounded. Male reproductive system produces sperm. Okay, by which process sperm produced, by which process? It is spermatogenesis. By which process female reproductive system develops ovum? Ovum is developed by oogenesis. Another important issue, you can see, what is stereogastrula? Gastrula is found in hydra. Okay, which kind of stages are observed in hydra for consideration of their age? You can say it is the polyp and medusa. So this way many questions come in your exam, so you have to be prepared for this one. Okay, now I'm moving on to the next topic. It is the phylum Platyhelminthes. For studying this phylum, you must introduce with the animals that have in this group. These animals mostly parasitic, that is why they have to retain some parasitic device like sucker, or few cases they are containing the hook. Okay, the whole structure, if you observe, their body is flattened, ventral and dorsal sides. That is why you can say it is dorsal ventrally flattened like the leaf. And this structure also contains another structure for attachment. It is called acetabulum. Okay, this acetabulum also a kind of sucker, and this one is also a kind of sucker, but the anterior sucker is containing the mouth. Okay, in Greek word the mouth means oral. For that reason you can say it is the oral sucker. They have digestive system, but digestive system is not opened with anus. For that reason it is incomplete digestive system. Okay, incomplete digestive system. Look at that. When digestive system both contains mouth like us and anus like we have, on the time you can say it is the complete digestive system. But when it is only opened with the mouth but it has no anus, on the time you can say it is incomplete digestive system. So my question is that it is taking the food. Obviously 100% food never possible to use by the cells of their body. So the waste materials, how that will be expelled out? Exactly, that are not being expelled out, rather they are converting into different other helpful materials by the help of a certain kind of cell, and this cell is called flame cell. Why it is called flame cell? As it is cell, it is containing nucleus, cytoplasm and sac. Everything is right, but it is containing some flagella inside it, and these flagella vibrating in a way, that is why you can think the candle or the flame is flickering here. For that reason you are telling it is the flame cell. So flame cell also a good characteristics for this group of animals, flame cell. Okay, Although here I am observing the animals with unsegmented body, but there are few animals that are segmented. Look, there are few animals in this type. It is their tongue, it is their another structure which is containing four sucker. It is the sucker, and in the sucker there have some hook, and it is their tongue. Okay, the whole structure is called the scolex. So scolex present only the segmented animals. So the animal that is containing segmentation at their body is containing the scolex, and it is large enough and it is flat enough, and you can say it is looking like the tape. For that reason it is called the tapeworm. Okay, if some segments can be removed from their body, they also can regenerate. So no question about that, how the fragments can repair. It is the regeneration process. So regeneration also a kind of asexual reproduction. For that reason you can say they are doing the asexual reproduction. But they have also immense power of sexual reproduction. Rather, the sexual reproduction is very common for this kind of animals. Okay, and due to sexual reproduction they are depositing the fertilizing egg, and that fertilizing egg is fertilized externally. For that reason the external fertilization is taking place. My dear students, here 2 or 2 plus 2, that means two pairs of suckers are present. So there have animals in phylum Platyhelminthes that may contain two pairs of or a pair of suckers. Some suckers helps in attachment, that is considered as the acetabulum. These animals are triploblastic. That means at embryonic stage you will see three germinal layers. So the outer layer is called epiderm, the middle is called mesoderm, and finally the layer that have inside the structure, that is called the endoderm. But endoderm. But you have to remember that still it is acoelomate phylum. That means their body cavity is absent. Rather, that cavity is filled with some parenchymatous cell or parenchyma cell. Like the plants. Plants have some parenchyma cell. So there are many parenchyma cells that is deposited in the middle of this layer. For that reason, there have no special body cavity. This layer is filled with parenchyma cell. Okay. That is why it is acoelomate animal. These all are endoparasitic. A great ranges are there. Some species are endoparasitic to human also, and some are free living. Free living means it is non-parasitic. Endoparasitic means that is present inside the body of other large animals, and they are collecting their nutritions, and after taking the nutrition they are doing some sort of harmfulness. For that reason, that kind of small creatures will be considered as the parasites. The parasite that is staying inside the body of an individual, that is called endoparasite, and the parasite that is present outside like mosquito, it is called the ectoparasite or lice of our heads. So there are many ectoparasites and endoparasites in different group of animals, but we are studying the Platyhelminthes. It is containing all the animals that are parasitic in nature and mostly are the endoparasites. So here I am exactly telling most of the characteristics. Now I can write few of these. Suppose what kind of animals belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes. These are the flat. Where it is flattened, it is dorso-ventrally flattened. Dorso-ventrally flattened. Okay, flattened. Next, it is leaf-like, and some are tape-like. Okay, tape-like. So tape-like animals contains two pairs of suckers. Okay, suckers, and they are containing another special device that is called the scolex, that includes the tongue also. But leaf-like animals have a pair of sucker, and these sucker are two types, oral and acetabulum, that have in the ventral. Acetabulum. This acetabulum helps in attachment. Okay, attachment. Okay, next it is triploblastic. Okay, triploblastic. That means three germinal layers are present: ecto, meso, and endoderm. Endoderm. Mind it. Next, as it is a triploblastic animals, you have to know they have coelom or not. No, they have no coelom. That is why acoelomate animals. So you have to know their segmentation. It is unsegmented, or segmented animals. Segmented animals. Mind it. Both asegmented or unsegmented animals are present here. They have incomplete digestive system. Incomplete digestive system. That means digestive system. That means they have no anus. No anus. Okay. Next, another important characteristics is found, that is they have phlegm cell. Phlegm cell, it acts as excretory organ. Excretory organ. Okay. Next, you will see grade of organization. They have organ grade of organization, or tissue organ grade of organization. Okay, grade of organization. Next thing is that it is reproduced by asexual or sexual process. And sexual process is very common method, but asexual process is carried out by regeneration, as they can repair their lost body part. Next, they are endoparasitic animal. Okay, endoparasitic animal. So this way you have to learn. Another important thing is that they have many larval stage when they are doing the sexual reproduction, and they have radia, sarcaria, metacercaria, cystocercaria, this kind of larval stage. You must know the name of larva for the cnidarians too. So cnidaria have various kinds of larval stage. Look, cnidaria have various kinds of larval stage. We must write. It is the name of larval stage. It is called the planula. Okay, planula is the larval stage. Okay, so this group of animals have lot of features, lot of characteristics. So you can summarize our today's lecture in this way. We have studied two group of individuals. One is belonging to the diploblastic animal phylum. It is Cnidaria. So in your medical exam, it may come which animals belongs to the diploblastic phylum. On that time you may get some scientific name. So you must know the scientific name of Hydra. It is Hydra vulgaris, Hydra oligactis, Hydra fusca. There are many. But in case of jellyfish, it is so special. Their scientific name is Aurelia aurita. Okay, Aurelia aurita. You must know aurita. Another important thing is that the Hydra vulgaris. Okay, vulgaris is the scientific name of Hydra. Similarly, you have to know the layers that have in their body. It is ectoderm and endoderm. In the middle, which thing is present? It is mesoglia. Tentacles present in both kinds of animals. Some are containing arms. Their body is very transparent. That is why their gonad is observed. Gonad is observed from their outer side. Another important thing is that some algae can inhabit in the cavity of the cnidarians, and the cavity's name is coelenteron, and this coelenteron also helps in both like gastric or the stomach, as well as it can distribute the food materials. That is why this coelenteron, also known as gastrovascular cavity. So you have to remember this name too. So my dear students, when we are discussing, there have many informations I am going to describe, but there have some limitations of time. That is why we are not discussing a lot, but detailed discussion obviously will get in different way. We will inform you later what kind of questions comes in and which question have which answer. So this way we may describe and which CQ is important from this chapter and how the CQ will be written, and this also will be our concern. So it is the structure of special cell that have in Cnidaria. It is the Cnidoblast cell, and Cnidoblast cell contains the nematocyst containing the thread, and this is also containing a poisonous material. It is hypnotoxin, and this also you have to remember. So this way we are listing many things here. You may take a screenshot as you can remember all those things, like it is marine or freshwater animals. It is diploblastic animals, mesoglia present, that is flexible jelly-like acellular structure, unsegmented tissue grade of organizations present. Coelenteron is their body cavity, tentacles or arms or both things are present. Polyp and medusa stages are present at their life stage, and planula is the larval stage. So my dear students, look, just ask yourself, if you are writing these kinds of information to your script, it is never possible to avoid that you are studying for the admission test or you are studying for academics. So my dear students, it will be very helpful for others if you are spreading the informations about the platform Manavi, that is dedicatedly working for the English version students for admission test, especially for the medical and varsity admission test. And another platform we have for studying the academics, and that is the Vidyalab, and we are mostly dedicatedly working to establish the Vidyalab platform for the English version students, and we are hiring lot of subjects, and one of them is biology. So you can take your preparation with these two platforms, Manavi for admission test and the Vidyalab for the academics, and hope you all are helping us by spreading or by mentioning your friends, as they also can be helpful. So here I'm going to sign off today. My dear students, inshallah, meet you soon. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.